Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the meeting to order as the vice chair for the City of Hollister Airport Commission meeting of special meeting Wednesday, October 8, 2025. We stand for pledge allegiance. Can we get a roll call, please? Commissioner Well, present.
Eric Martin, present. Eric Wise.
Now move to consent items, and though it's not on the agenda, under consent items, we need to approve the minutes. Minutes are from past 3 meetings. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for, let's see, I think it's August, March, and June. Can we do it all in one motion? Okay.
The motion to approve the minutes of these meetings.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item on the agenda is commission business. Review the proposed use with risk arrow for conducting report testing operation at the Hollister Airport.
All right, good evening, Commissioners, members of the public, and attendants. Tonight we have a proposed use for what is called a deployable vertiport by risk arrow. And our job is to look at the use and location, and we want to receive a presentation from WISC on that. And they will describe their in operations as they go through that. Attached to the actual staff report is the on-off, which has more detail about the location, use, the surface, etc. And what would emphasize to all in attendance that is on the west side, kind of about 500 feet separation from the runway 31 south end. And this is a location that is compatible with the airport's long-term kind of development concept for that particular area of the airport, known as kind of the Taipei Y and Z concepts. So with that, I think we'll be providing this an opportunity to invite Annie Cheng, who's a senior program manager for WISC, up here to give us a presentation.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity. Really thank you for time. I represent WISC in posing this deployable data beast. Can you hear me? So I'm short. To present this deployable phase at Hollister, a little bit of background for WISC. If you guys haven't heard, we are the Boeing subsidiary. Behind me, I've been working, even though it's only my mother, I've been working with everyone at WISC. They have tremendous executive team support as well as from Boeing this particular proposal. So behind me, we have a few that were able to come person. We have the facilities manager in Norwich, his assistant, and represented from two parts of our operations. One is R&D student, and also Kevin, he's our chief aspect. Do I answer? Oh. So a bit of background, we have been thinking about this internally, and we've been starting a conversation with Jeff and others on how do we, provide something that is beneficial for not just this, but potentially how do you think about integrating AM in general. So the purpose of this is to continue some of the things that's already at happening in Hollister. We've been testing at Hollister for a long time. We've been testing our earlier gens. So we're building our Gen 6 right now, the 6 aircraft in line. We've been testing since over a decade and have a really track record with the airport. They've been super helpful and great partners. And what we're looking here is a way to think of how to integrate in their space. So prior to that, now introducing me, my job is to think of how to integrate our aircraft into their space and make sure we're not causing any impact to, minimize impact to others. So that's what I think of every day. In order to think of to actually conduct the operations, want to have a representative of environments. So moving from the test we're doing with Sergey right now, we're using L206 and working on the Gen right now. So initially, we'll use this temporary fill for our target helicopter. Down the road, once we have done all the necessary testing with we'll bring on 6 bits at later. So at about that, so this is a FADO that is modular. We've looked at a few options, decided this is the most feasible approach. If we need to expand this, a modular, multiple pieces that you can put together so it can be moved. And if you can see, this is a no drawing, but it's kind of small. So it is at the elbow of the 2 kilo. I'll show you more about the location later, but the idea is to have the FADO first. We can start testing, practicing our target, take on land, and eventually we will put Gen 6, and so the temporary survey area, white, where we're connecting, will be towing. and like I said, we've working with the supply chain part of Boeing that has looked at multiple solutions, and that is the solution, and we're financially supporting the company. Next slide. So in terms of location, we've looked at quite a few different locations at the airfield. There are no perfect place. There's going to be consideration for airspace and movements. But we decided that this location towards the south of the way through one would be more strategically aligned with what we think it would be, as well as where the airport is thinking in terms of expansion. So on the upright is a snapshot of the airport idea of what it will look like, and it's basically matching the location. What we've done so far is looking at these different locations, we've analyzed airspace, and we've also looked at the current criteria that FAA has established for the report line. So the engineering brief is what we have right now, no 5A. This distance that we have right now is about 500 feet from the runway underline, which is for guidance. As you know, there's no vertical established right now, so we're trying to line as guidance out there as possible. And we've also let it from airspace perspective, how the traffic pattern would come in and what the so you're already thinking about what are the structure clearance that would be potential if we come in from a from right side, what that so we already have a turning out suite to look at. And yeah, so tech is something we're really happy about. So we found August. I was awarded. This actually provided that report. So this is awesome because this comes with a note, and the plan is to have a flight corridor connects. There's 4 other ports. 3 airports. So this is strategically in line. On the additional point I had there was we're going to follow the process we will have to follow. Already started talking with the FAA Office of Airport about this DIA. We were working with them and said we will be filing a 7060, making sure the analysis or follow everything.
So with that, I'd like to ask those couple questions to answer as per the presentation. So from kind of me reading the information to the mission. So one is, and can you describe a little further ways to make up the deployable vertiport? I assume it's a market based. In other words, these are sold as ready to go out of the box, yes, but they're still platform, and then obviously you have a deck that gets put in. So I assume these weigh several hundred pounds, so they won't be like in danger of being an anchored surface and moving anywhere.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So the entire of it is about 100 by 100 feet to meet the current design criteria. It's made of steel. The whole thing is about 4 tons. So coming, I think, by 30 feet blocks. They will be configured and put together elsewhere. Once it gets to us, is ready to assemble, and the process should take no more than a week or so for the actual assembly. And so we're trying to minimize impact to the air as well.
And then the first early phase of utilizing the deployable vertiport location, it describes you having operations there by circuit built 206. So not a pilot, but my understanding is that helicopters airport versus the left hand, you have a fully licensed pilot, you introduce a lead pilot. So pilots that are fully licensed by FAA would operate that aircraft, so it would be joining into the known aircraft traffic, integrating into that so as not to get interference. Is there any comment from the pilot that might want to speak that point about how right-hand traffic pattern to be?
I can just shot unless you guys want to add anything. So we're working on a jet that we're going from right to the airport, pattern towards the room, but then we'll land on the left side of the runway. So we'll as do now, we'll make all the traffic calls on the CAF traffic advisory frequency every day. And we also have an additional visual server on the ground with traffic where they'll be calling if when landing we won't even go off. So make sure we're all aware of what's around us. Do you have anything else said? No?
Yeah, I can help you. Please, my name's Quinn. I'm Chief Test Pilot. I was a little unprepared for the question. Yeah, come on. Again, it's Kevin. I'm the test pilot WISC. I'm a little unprepared for the question specifically because developing specific procedures for our vertiport is certainly something that we would work at the airport. Sure. Right-hand pattern, which is what FAA prescribes for a copter on a non-tower airport, might not be our best choice to deflect from other tenants on the other side of the runway. And establishing a procedure, even the aircraft notes for logical entry, exit, in a approach and departure from that particular vertiport, particularly related to the wind, would part of the evaluation of the vertiport itself. But it does present itself interesting because we're on that particular geography airport where left-handers might more less intrusive at the same time, often conforming with the rest of the pattern is also helpful. I think we'll absolutely want to work at the airport best on our approach, and I think it being a helicopter, certainly minimum flexibility to set establish a core rule or a procedure to get in and out of the vertical. That helps. Hope that's a little thing.
But we want to hear one is that FAA will be input on this as was they didn't come in and choose to take the most appropriate alignment so that declicks with other legacy aircraft. So with the Gen 6, obviously we would part most since pilot for those operations. Is that correct?
No, sir. Aircraft.
Okay.
No, sir. Answer the question, which was, are we require Part 107 license to operate our Gen 6 platform? Our Gen 6 fit a category for Part 107, which is small UAS. We might typically known as Jones hand size. There's a certain weight limit at the risk of being wrong. The FAA prescribes it. Gen 6 is in a category in and of itself. Opt under experimental worthy certificate. That's its own and unique until we can establish with the FAA a certification criteria for the production assets. In which case we would operate legally under a unique certificate for that particular platform. That would govern how we operate it.
And that'd be a nice explanation to the question. And so you can see that we're dealing with a company that's very safety conscientious. They have an excellent track record here at the airport. I think with that, if we're done with the presentation, then we can move to a comment.
Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Do you want to go questions from the commissioner? Question, comments?
Yeah, thanks. Go ahead.
Well, I'd raise my hand. What I'm wondering is, I don't know that there's an answer for this. Probably is I'm not a pilot. I just hear I push a button. Is it still working? With all the activity that looks like we have in the future, which I'm excited about, especially flying cars, when does the airport have to have a tower to monitor and control the airspace around it?
Yeah, so a tower is predicated by FAA at a certain operational threshold and don't necessarily say that any given airport that it's exactly a particular threshold that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So, but they look at and say based on the nature of our airport, the kinds of aircraft that come in, they could say that it's the determination that would be best practice to have an FAA tower at 75,000 L operations, be it moves to a different level. So I think it's a lot about the aircraft mix, what you have gone in your space, et cetera. There's a lot of contemplation there, and it's, again, an FAA terminating as far as I know.
Money. Maybe David Leonardo stand out there and keep an eye. You, the one with guide. Just play. Thank you.
People to maybe meet with where there's laying out their procedures and whatnot, and see exactly what's going on, because there's a lot of vagueness so far. And I just want to be the one with going on.
When you say that, I don't understand the description of vagueness.
You know, the procedures feel comfortable with.
When we talk about procedures, you're talking about the air procedures, because there's a pro and a part which the airport has really no say-so in them there. That's really an FAA thing. Once the aircraft go into the air.
Just want to meet them. I'm not even speaking.
We could set some up airport conference room for attendance if that's.
Just want to go inside, see what's going on.
You could have come in on one meet them with me. Mm-hmm.
We're so open to getting commission or ladies out.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel open to.
Just for the minutes, that risk is for potentially set up a tour for the commission, in which case we actually need to announce as a public meeting. So I have to work with the city attorney's office to make sure it was publicly listed proper way, or potentially and so be able to discuss what we're saying as we go through it. It's going to be a learning experience. So the attorney that can be.
So I'd actually have to check in to see the specific dynamics if they're going to be on site. But with regards to making a request like that, you do need to provide that request to the executive secretary 10 business days for a meet date. And this is just a reminder, the bylaw, that if you're going to be requesting something like that, you can make requests to the executive secretary, and then we can forward we are able to.
We acknowledge the request. Start the end date countdown.
Any other questions or comments?
I have questions about FADO. The taxiways that you have, are they metal and are they going to be attached to the ground? We've had history at the airport of some of stuff flying.
I heard you.
FADO metal, that's one, but a taxi, you're towing it,
Yes.
is not, that cause a problem.
So, yeah, we can consider sticking the taxiway to the ground. Just to give an idea of the size, this is 100 by 100 metal piece. A helicopter usually is 50, so talking pretty far. Definitely, you provide whatever things need to the ground.
It goes into my next question, is when the helicopter or the next vehicle comes in, they have a downwash. They're going to be dust mitigation, or is the FADO large enough and approach angle steep enough that their downwash footprint is going to go over the field or going to be over farm fields, cause dust cloud out there?
Yeah, so we would caution also like to include FAs. We're beginning to test some of those with our six away from the data first. We actually started talking to them about doing a test, but it would be on the schedule. Would make sure, understand downwater characteristics before we move.
And if I might, in response to that clear concern, we have alpha that fly in across the same soil, the same field condition with the Black Hawk, which has much more down than the Bell 206 and then 6 combined. And so I don't see any more concern about the dust.
I don't
being
want to see if
in-
it's addressed or not. Temporary surface, on your picture of the FAO, it shows a permanent fence around it. Is your FAO going to have permanents? Because that's a generic term. That's in several documents, including that FAO 15A figure that comes out of there. Your FAO going to have that fence, foot, where it is, fence around it, or is it going to be flat with the ground?
It will be according to the engineering brief. I believe there is a fence, but we'll double
Okay.
check what the guy
That
says.
sense there'll be no fence, because
Yeah,
the
right.
border surrounding on top of the building. So, 2 more questions. Where will the tow your next vehicle out there and your fleet test? Where's the tow vehicle going to go? Is it go all the way back to the facility? Is it going to sit on the ramp, going to sit on the taxi? Have you developed that, or is it to be determined?
It's to be determined. Yeah, so we won't be, using that toll right away. Would do a lot of coordination and ground testing first.
Was concerned to be sitting that way.
In that next point, and as you guys direct us as a airport to prepare and then the airport use agreement that has operational requirements in there. And so if there's concern about the tow vehicle being located too close to the actual FAO, obviously they can't be on taxiway Kilo because they can come down Kilo to get access to there. Once they tow, and if they want to leave the truck somewhere, it can't be taxi Kilo.
gotta
It's going to be outside the taxiway object free area. And so we can write any operational requirement, complete the airport use agreement. It has all of those optional requirements in it. It'll talk about limitations of how many vehicles go there, et cetera, all sorts of different considerations. So that's certainly where I get into a whole other level in this. We're kind of proving the high-level use and location, and then allow trust with staff to work this airport use agreement to create some of the operational procedures. Certainly those can be modified as goes. So I'm not saying I'm a genius in it all. If by putting the airport use agreement, we miss something that it seems to become an important one, we can modify that as we go along as well. So to that point.
One more question. I understand this report concept, a new concept, trying to develop the term VTOL aircraft and
Correct.
that new technology. Is this going to be a public use report? In other words, is if WIS facilitates this report going there, is other vehicle, copter, whatever, going to be able to come and use that? Or is it going to be a private vertiport?
Our attention that this would be a vertiport that would be utilized by WIS for research and development purposes, in which case, as being a part of the paid member of Monterey Tech Hub, they may graciously make that available for eVTOL aircraft come to the airport. It would not be recognized on our LP airport out plan, and it would be recognized in our airport chart as a permanent vertiport. If what we actually go to improvement, where we actually meant to put in a permanent vertiport in that location, if that's what we end up just saying is best long-term, this shall, and it supports the side activity as we think it might, that proves to be true, we'd transiting where they would end the airport use agreement because it no longer be exclusive, it's a public use airport, and that becomes public. And that would have to be added to the airport let plan, is my understanding, through a process with FAA, and would also have to approve it, on airport art then. So
Initially, it's going to be a restricted use vertiport for with prior mission of the Monterey Tech Hub. Is that a good way to put that? Okay, that's my questions.
Are there any other questions for commission?
Do you have a projected date for we're going to have an approved and working, we'll take a vehicle? Have a,
For the helicopter?
for what you're developing by 5 year, 1 year?
if I
2030.
could you guys actually operate several generations of these that have actually had tests proven they can operate in the manner that their business choice is. And so now speaking commercial operations, I mean, that's what is mentioned is that some of the commercial providers are trying to achieve commercial certification. They're talking maybe coming online later in the first quarter of 2027. Of course, what you may not know is that, President Trump actually an executive order to emphasize the speed of our certification process for advanced air mobility. There's a big push by the federal administration, which trickle down through FAA to speed this up. And so this is a rapidly evolving environment. And so, again, what is considered, I believe, in the industry, reputation is one of the 3 leaders of the industry because of the maturity of testing procedures and their different generations of vehicles. So, and we're lucky in the area to have at least, if not all three of the top three codes in the region sharing in the Monterey Bay Tech Hub. And the Tech Hub is working, they have the county grant was cited that for the connectivity for eVTOLs to safely operate between the four airports, which would be Hollister and City of Hollister, Salinas and Salinas Airport, and then Marina and Marina Airport, and Watsonville and the Watsonville Airport. So that right there, it's hopeful that's going to also attract new or potential OEMs in this field come and participate in our Monterey Bay Cup. So it could lead to other opportunities to success in the region. It's good for all players.
Are there any questions from the commission? I have questions. I want to thank you for your support of being the Tech Hub. Hollister is part of Tech Hub. It's been a long time coming. As you know, I know I worked in common development city and county, so I was part of the initial efforts, and it's taken a while, but it's good to hear. And so I want to thank you for providing more revenue for our airport, which is really needed. So thank you again, and I look forward to taking the.
Thank you for being so great partners.
All right, we need a motion as requested.
Do I have a motion to recommend that the airport present an airport use agreement for city council consideration for approval for the West Aero conducting order testing operation at the Hollister Municipal Airport?
I must make what she said. I can read it.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. To approve. Next, we'll go to staff commissioner reports. Up first will be the airport director report.
All right, so I said in early October, wow, that was a typo. It was actually mid-September, the 12th, I believe. A member of the airport staff went to the ACH, Association of California Airports conference, and that's located in South Lake. That actually happens to be one of the premier small airports. It's designed more for the smaller airports, the less complex Part 135 type airport, really designed for all of attention about we there, and so excellent training opportunity, excellent opportunity for them to be there and speak with FAA members and other colleagues and practitioners in the industry. So it's a great learning environment. So we were very happy that we could send two attendees to that conference. Airport grants, the update there is, again, we're hopeful to take advantage of the 95% reimbursement from FAA and Fed fiscal years 25 and 26. We got our bipartisan infrastructure law project, we got the grant award for that. So that was for the Locate Airport Operations Area Perimeter Fence project, and we signed a grant, on the 13th, and so the council approved awarding the contract to Silicon Valley Paving on October 6th, so I will call tomorrow to Silicon Valley Paving to let them know they got the contract, and so I have the resolution from the city clerk's office. We will issue the contract for signature. So we hope to have this project. Obviously, it's a fencing company, and they're just coming for their prime season where they do a lot of fencing for school districts and things, but we hope they're going to be able to get started and get this project done before the roads hit. So look forward to that being done. And I put the, I attached the project sketch there just for everyone's visual reference. It's runway 24 there out from San Felipe into to the intersection of runway 24 and 1. So technically that moves the fence outside of the runway safety area. So the other anticipated grant was an airport improvement program grant for 2A Alpha reconstruction, design phase of that project. That we see very critical that we get to this. We all know that are one of the most failed payments on the north end of Taxiway Alpha. It is very unfortunate, but have not heard from FAA, and they finally did interact with us. It was to tell us that they're not awarding the design grant this year, and so it now will likely to a 26 grant. But as you can imagine, this is our longest taxi project. So it's saying to be regiving one runway. It's probably the largest next just being project on the field. And reconstruction means we're going down into the ground and build a base all the way up to. And we would be adding like a local line to the taxi as well. So it's a very desired project. It's going to be very expensive. And so they typically like to keep the design close to when they know they can fund the construction. So at this point, the hope is that they'll, while telling us it'll be 20% of the design, we're really seeing, are they going to be able to design, find the $10 million approximately to do phase one, which we from the runway, the crossing running north on Taxiway Alpha. They be able to commit the discretionary funding of $150,000 in development funding. You can bank up 4 years, which you can put to these projects. If you don't use them in the 4th year, you lose them to expiring entitlements. And so we are in danger of expiring our entitlements for certain. That being said, they have to find the funding for it. So while they're saying 26, just want to caution expectations that they really need looking year out and know discretionary fundings are for the construction phase. If they really can't find that, they may be laying us more for some. That being said, we submitted a zero emission vehicle program grant on June 16th. I was very interested to get that at the airport district office. However, early September, got a call from the ADO manager, personally calling to apologize because the administration, not FAA administration, decided that ZEV program was not a funding priority, and so they don't anticipate funding and grants being available in this program for probably 2+ years. Okay, some sad news for the airport. We would be commissioned to wear one of our again participants in the Monterey Bay Cub, they were the ones on hydrogen power plant, obviously a big player in the sustainable industry, and then relative to the advanced mobility and electric vehicle takeoff and land EV industry. They were doing hybrid projects with OEMs to make hydrogen electric hybrids. They have unfortunately relocated the Hollister operations, consolidated to the Everett Washington Field port. So that they have terminated their lease, and so that is on the wait list, and it just so happens that WIS at the top of the list, and we anticipate them evaluating taking the space. And then just for knowledge, the airport currently have 2 standard hangars and 1 large hangar available for rent. However, just I heard one time today that one of the 2 standards might rent. We're waiting here for the city. So 2 questions. Cal Fire Concrete Pad project on October 6th, the council approved an amendment for the Heliflight was Air's lease of the hangar there, and we approved a part of that amendment. We approved a provision to provide sublease, and specifically for Cal Fire. It sounds like there's been discussion that Cal Fire may be able to put the Black Hawk copter in the same hangar. Airs and them have evidently worked that out, so we made that modification in amended lease to provide that flexibility because we want to be supportive of Cal Fire, and I know like how the helicopter and a hangar in an affected environment, and so we've never really had a leasing spot for that car. It seems like not completing 100% of people, right? So that's the update there. So this Cal Fire concrete pad, which was designed to add additional cement for helicopter parking, I'm waiting for confirmation from Cal Fire. I believe that this project is stable, and they probably look to relocate some of the compacted gravel that they put out there. They moved to other locations. You may remember back in the spring, and get our June meeting, that we had a project going on to the alarm monitoring of vehicle building, which is Night Skyline Drive. That's a lesser responsibility, so we need to get that rectified, and that project has been completed as of about the September 1, I believe. So just wanted to report that out. And just a reminder to the mission and those attendants and those things that, we've had issues with the gate code being out there for the last probably 30 years, the gate code. And so we're working to update the system, evaluating how can we get other types of access provision and able to move away from universal code. So currently the system that we seem to identify is a cloud service, which allow us to, where you can write at the interconnect piece with a camera and a keypad as well as a card reader. We would be able to see you real time to the camera. You could actually speak to us, and like Adam and myself actually to our, you got charged, huh? Okay, $20, let you in. No, so we can, being facetious, but we can actually do that. That's what cloud's advantage is. You can actually do incident and whatnot and respond things live right over the phone. So it's a very interesting application. We're collecting current estimates on that, and it's something that technically need to go to the council and appropriation for. But I'm going to tell you guys, because in case we have another meeting till February, we move forward with this project whenever we get it. It is a priority, so we'll be up with their communication of the tenants. We get started on it. And lastly, personnel. Currently, airport still has a vacant main works for one position. The plan is to fill it soon. We'll transfer the temporary work out of the Park and Rec department. And then luckily, that person has some more experience working in another airport. So hopes that will route and we'll be able to offer the full-time position. And then my last point, what do you say? Katie Anderson last day, regular day at airport will be October 14th, and technically, we only expect her in the office much after Friday. And she's actually been helping our city manager's office as well, doing an outstanding job there. And so, she's had a very impressive year and a half, and I'd like to just thank Katie for her energy, her many contributions, the city improvements at the airport, and as she did a lot to improve communications to tenants, and certainly will be missed.
Thank you, Katie. Great job. You'll be missed.
That concludes the report.
Thank you, Jeff. Do we take public comment now? Is there any public comment?
Not on this item, but questions from the council or from the commission?
Questions on the items from any of the commission?
I don't remember, or did the change to, I don't know what the helicopter company's name is, Era's lead approved by city council?
Yes, the
Okay.
amendment was approved. Yeah.
I just had a question whether the bylaws are also approved, the changes to bylaw.
We are hoping to do that on the city council meeting agenda the 12th.
Perfect. Do we have any reports from commissioners? And are there any questions for future agenda items? It is next meeting scheduled for November, but make sure.
Yeah, I would give a heads up that likely we've had this meeting and I'm at this point unaware of a need for the meeting next month, so likely unless there's for a special meeting, which is holiday time, so likely I'd like to try to get this on for the their meeting, February, right?
We have any names for future agenda? You've done a great job with the report. I don't have questions, and I'm sure you'll be giving an update on things that you've talked about already.
Okay. Would like to remind the commission and for those in the city, for the interim city manager, our long-term city manager of long-term being 4 years, he decided he needed to move on for his career, and so we have Jim here as our interim city manager, and he comes from Salinas and brings up 40 years of experience in government work, and he was long-term what do you call that, assistant city manager at Salinas, and so we look forward to working through his office now with him, and so he's the interim, and we anticipate the council going for a full-time selection. So,
Is he interested in a time position, or?
I don't know that. I assume he's coming back on an interim basis because they're coming back at personal person. So yeah, limited to 90 hours, I believe.
Okay, thank you. Any more comment, questions? Have a motion to adjourn? I'll second. All in favor? Thank you, everyone.